this game, Everybody's Gone to Rapture, I just did a little bit of a Google search on games that are set in the English countryside, and this one came up. It seems a little unsettling. I don't know exactly if rapture means like something bad's gonna happen, something like spiritual is gonna happen. I'm not sure. But when I watched like a 10 to 15 second trailer, and it felt really similar to the vibe of the book. So, The Book of Wonders, which is by someone named Polly Crosby, is set in this, like I said, in the English countryside, and most of the book takes place in the Bower House. I want to keep calling it Briar House, so you're just gonna have to use them interchangeably, okay? If I say one, I mean the other, okay? So it's set with the main character, and the book is from her point of view of, her name is Romilly, and kind of opening up, she works with her dad, or she doesn't work with her dad, she lives with her dad, and so you get to discover, basically through childhood wonder, like different parts of this house, different characters, the way that her story kind of comes about. So Romilly is 9 years old when the book starts, and I believe she is 16 when the book ends. So it covers quite a long period of time. Now, I read some reviews that said, oh, there's a streak of light over. Did you guys see that? I didn't take my ADHD medication, so we're going to see how this review goes. I already forgot what I was saying. Oh, okay. So Romilly, it covers a large period of time. Now, some of the reviews were pretty mean about this book. I try not to look at reviews a lot because, honestly, I'm one of... Oh, okay, so I'm playing with this ball of light and it's moving back and forth. I don't think anything happens. I think maybe it's just telling me to go this way. Hello, don't hurt me. Excuse me, ball of light. Can I... Oh, I can't go through here, so... Do I have to ask permission? Is there... Maybe if I move him over there? Hello? Ball of light? Okay, well, while we're playing with this ball of light, the basic characters, Romilly and her father. Romilly is a 9-year-old girl, so, I mean, she doesn't have a job or anything because she's a 9-year-old. But, it started vibrating. Do you think that means something happened? Okay, let's try and go through this again since it vibrated. No, okay. I think maybe I have to go somewhere else. First, maybe? So let's go back down here and see if there's anything I missed. So Romilly's just a little girl. Her mother is MIA, so we don't have a whole lot of information about her mother. Her dad, when her mother is brought up, seems to be pretty cagey and doesn't want to talk about it, ? So I think, this phone's ringing. Hello? The emergency. Oh gosh, when radio and television under control, something bad's about to happen. Okay. Oh my god, you can't call for help? Don't panic. Remain civil and calm. Oh my gosh, when someone tells you not to panic and to remain civil and calm, that's the last thing you want to do. This is okay. This video game so far is really measuring up to the book because it's like stunning. Like, look at this video game. This is beautiful. And so many passages of the book are absolutely stunning. And like something disturbing's happening and you feel kind of weird throughout the book. I would not recommend this book to like a sensitive person or like a kid or something. This is not a kid friendly book. There's like some kind of scary scenes. There's some like I think it's just kind of, some of it can be a little bit intense and nothing like really horrible or like really inappropriate happens, but I think maybe it would just be better for maybe like just an adult, you know. And if you're really sensitive, this book might not be for you. But like I said, Romilly, you know, we don't know much about her mom. We don't hear much about her mom. She, from the beginning of the book, is just with her dad. And her dad is a little bit eccentric. Oh, hello? Is something going to scare me if I go in here? No, okay. It doesn't seem like anything scary is in here. The radio's beep. Oh, the radio's beeping. Okay, that's the character that it started with. You should be able to pick up the signal Costa Valley. Event. Oh my gosh. You can't hear it, but the way that she just said it, she said the event. And it sounded like really stressful. Okay. Okay, Kate. Oh. The answers are here. Okay. The answers are in the light. Okay, well, there was that ball of light over there. So yeah, Romilly's dad is like pretty eccentric. Oh, my controller's vibrating. Do you think that means that something happened? Romilly's dad's pretty eccentric. He's like an author, and not an author. He's an artist, and he one of the main things throughout the books is that he writes these books. I think there's like a basic story, but overall they're picture books, and his artistry is described as extremely realistic, as almost like if you didn't know, it would be a picture. And of course his daughter is like one of the main, I guess, subjects of all of his artwork. And in the beginning of the book, he brings home Romilly a kitten. And so the first of his picture books is called Romilly and the Kitten. And throughout the Book of Wonders, you know, Romilly's dad is publishing these picture books, and they end up garnering a lot of attention. They are extremely detailed, and they're the type of book that, like, if you took a magnifying glass, you would find a detail that you never would have seen otherwise. Or there's hidden words and hidden messages, and it starts becoming so like the media gets really obsessed, and all these people get really obsessed, and they think that Romilly's dad has like hidden treasure. Tobias is her dad's name, and so, you know, Tobias ends up taking Romilly out of school because it just isn't safe for her, because some of these treasure hunters are like pretty, I don't know, like pretty intense, and like asking her where the treasure is and like grabbing her arm and stuff. And so her dad ends up, oh, okay, I think something just happened. Maybe I can go through this gate now. Hello, don't hurt me. No, I still can't go through the gate. Okay, I feel like there must be something I have to do. Maybe I just have to play with this until I make them happy, and then they'll let me through the gate. Because the other gate was shut over on the other side. Yeah, so, you know, basically Romilly ends up living most of her life at the Bower house, and most of the book is centered at this house. And this house it's it's in the English countryside. She describes it as large and drafty, and there's a moat surrounding it. I don't know if the moat like goes out to the sea or something, but I wonder if this ball of light's gonna let me through this gate. What if I like aim it at the gate? Hello? Oh, I think I had to. I think that was user error. I think you had to press a button and I didn't press it the first time. There's not a lot of directions on this thing. Is the ball of light following me? Where'd it go? Okay, anyway. So there's a moat in this house, and one of the like really visceral scenes that you see is Romilly and her dad sinking a gargoyle statue into the moat, and then throughout the book, oh, there's a ball of light coming. Hello. Maybe I'll just go hang out with this ball of light. Hello. Who are you? And throughout the book, we see Jeremy. Okay. Maybe the ball of light's name is Jeremy. Throughout the book, we see Romilly imagining all these things really viscerally, and one of the things is this gargoyle that's like sunken into the moat. The writing in this book is insanely beautiful and insanely disturbing at the same time. It's just so visceral and intense, and like it talks about like my leg bones are dissolving, or there's a scene where her cat Monty is like crawling across her thing, and she describes him as a polar bear padding through the tundra, which is her duvet, and this ball of light's chasing me. Hello? Okay, bye. And so you get to read this book, and there is a intense childlike wonder that you experience while reading this book, because whenever you're experiencing a scene, it's told from Romilly's point of view. There is nothing told from the dad's point of view. And so before I go over there, I'm going to explore this field. Nothing is told from the dad's point of view. And so part of like the childhood aspect, you don't really know what's real and what's not real. I mean, she has this friend, Stacy, who kind of shows up every now and again, and there's like one scene where Stacy gets mad at Romilly and like walks off a cliff, and is just gone. And then you're like, wait, did she just die? Like, what happened? And then like there's another aspect where there's like an escaped panther, and Romilly's walking through the woods, or actually the panther comes up a few times, like, and this panther, like, she sees a panther and the eyes of this big black like creature, and you're kind of like, okay, wait, but is this real, or is this her imagination, or what? And so it's kind of like, I don't know if she follows just the eccentricity of her dad. There's a phone ringing. Hold on, let's go answer this phone. Hello? I'm scared. Oh. Optical array. Spreading its range beyond the valley. Okay, something's... A strike. That doesn't sound good. Oh my gosh. Okay. You guys can't hear it, but there's like screeching in the phone. And now it's a dial tone. Okay. This is a little bit unsettling, which I think is on point. I mean, the reason why I picked this, because I thought it would be a little unsettling, because that's what the book is like. But it's also beautiful. So yeah, you can, as Romilly kind of grows up, you can tell that like her dad is pretty eccentric and loves her and cares about her, but it's also like a little bit off. And the same thing about her, like she she's a little eccentric, and she has, really visceral descriptions of things like smashing snails, and like she gets hurt a few times and she describes it really intensely. And like her dad does really flippin' weird stuff. Like at one point, her cat's paw gets like stuck and has to get cut off, and then her dad like gives her the cat's paw like preserved. Oh, here's another ball of light to play with me. So yeah, the whole book has like a little bit of a disturbing vibe, but it's also just really beautiful. Let me tell you, actually, I want to read like one little quote from the book that I think is a really good description of this. So at one point her dad gives her a locket, and she talks about seeing this locket. And she says, why is this? Okay, she says, my breath misted the locket so that the flower was hidden within. The fogged glass, okay, try again. And as the fogged glass caught the light, I thought I could see the imprint of my dad's finger. Like, she just describes things so intensely, and it's actually very interesting because I saw the reviews that said this book is really slow and really weird, and it is really slow and really weird. Like, there are moments where you're like, why are we talking about for like an entire page the fingerprint on the glass of a locket? But it's kind of stunning, and it's kind of like, even though the pace is slow sometimes, it doesn't feel dragging. It just feels like every moment you're in the book, you're in the child's mind. And so it's kind of like on edge most of the time, and you a little bit feel like something's gonna go wrong all the time, which is how I feel playing this video game right now. Like, is something scary gonna happen? Yeah, so it's a really interesting book. One of the best parts of the book is the very unique characters. We've got her dad, and we've got, her mom ends up showing up a few times and has like some mental health stuff. Her grandmother shows up, who is like this, what does that say? Quarantine. Do not attempt to leave. It's not good when they tell you not to leave your house. Her grandma, who ends up being this like lion of a woman, and I think she describes her as a peacock, but like you can just imagine all of these characters, like the way that they talk about it, the way that they describe like their outward appearance, the way they move, like it's just like it's a really character heavy book. I think the characters make the book. There is a character that follows along the Stacy character I mentioned earlier, and like, again, you're like, is Stacy real? Is Stacy not real? I can't tell, but Stacy is like kind of mean, and like there's a whole section of the book where you're like, okay, Stacy, like maybe chill, because you're being really mean to our girl Romilly, and it's like, it's unsettling. So, after her dad has these picture books, they've come out, and all of, these people decide that there's some sort of treasure hidden in the books. Romilly herself is trying to figure out, okay, is there treasure hidden in the books? Like, did my dad just make this up? Is this like, can I actually figure out anything from this? And she asks her dad about it, and her dad's really cagey, and doesn't seem to want to talk about it. And so, through the book, that's what Romilly's doing. She's searching, and she gets some clues from her dad. She gets like this locket from him. She gets, this birthday gift that's a box that opens every year with a new trinket, and she can kind of trace it, and she does figure out in the end. But most of the book, you also are wondering, like, is her dad crazy, or is there really a treasure? Is there something hidden, or did I just make this up? And so, you do find out in the end, spoiler alert. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't talk about books without spoilers. So I think that, oh, there's another ball of light. I think that this would still be an interesting book, even the spoilers I'm about to give you. But it does turn out in the end, like after you've had tension almost the entire book, it turns out in the end that, you know, what her dad has hidden in these picture books that he's released and he's become famous for, was a message to Romilly. And she kind of, you know, she goes about it, she discovers it, and she discovers the message is the name of her twin. And, you know, this is like a shock because she kind of repressed the memories of having a twin, and her dad clearly never talked about them. And, you know, it sounds like her twin died when they were 4. And so her dad has, for some reason, decided to just use this picture book as a way to like tell her and remind her that that's what happened. And it's just like, it's a gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching moment when you realize, okay, so why would we not like help this little girl Romilly like describe and understand what's going on in her life? And so you know, Romilly then has to go through a process of grief and a process of loss, realizing that, you know, she lost her sister, and that's the same time her mom left. And you know, closer to the end of the book, you know, after she's figured this out, her dad gets dementia and her dad has to move, and then she's left alone in this giant English estate, trying to take care of herself. And Stacy, the character Stacy's popping in and out, and the severe sense of loss and like mental health decline, it is really strong, to the point, you know, I won't spoil the ending, but to the point where it's like, you know, Romilly's childhood like wonder is like turning into reality, and it's still viscerally descriptive and like some of the most beautiful passages I've ever read probably in this book. I mean, it's just one of those books where you read and you kind of pause as you're reading because it's kind of takes your breath away. And in the end, you know, Romilly really has to confront the loss of her dad and the loss of her sister, and it's really sad. It's pretty heartbreaking, and you realize that she's gone so many years of her life where, like, oh my god, I just realized that's horse jumping. I wonder if there's horses in this game. I love horses. I'm obsessed with them. I hope I get to see a horse sometime while I'm playing this game. I'm not going to finish this game while I'm talking about this book, because then I would have to talk for hours. But, oh, there's a ball of light. Are you a horse? Oh, this is making me want to live in a horse town. Yeah, so let me just check my notes to see if there is anything else I wanted to mention about this book. I think I talked about the characters. We talked about, like, you don't really know if things are real or not. Confronting loss. Yeah. I would say I recommend this book if you want to feel a little bit creeped out and also want to read beautiful words. I seriously have not read a book like this probably ever in my life, but certainly not recently. It's not like I can't put this down. Also, look, there's a frisbee on the roof. Classic. It's not like a you can't put it down book, but it is, I think it's worth a read. You know, I don't think it got very good reviews, but you know, what does everyone else know? But then again, what do they know? Because I would say that I feel like every book I've read I really liked. So I don't think I'm that picky. But you know what? Rose-colored glasses, that's the way to be in my life. Yeah. So, like I said, I don't think I'm going to finish this game because I kind of don't have anything else to say about this book. But I think I would already recommend the game and the book. I mean, it's really beautiful. It's eerie feeling. I think it's going to end up having a story as I play along through it. I mean, what's not to like, right? And yeah, it's kind of sad. I feel happy with this choice while talking about the book because I do feel like, it's got the beauty, it's got the wonder aspect with all the light and the missing souls, and you don't know what's real or what's not real. And yeah, highly recommend both, I guess. Though I will say, like, I've literally been playing this as long as I've been talking, so maybe it's a crappy game. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, I'll be uploading videos every Friday. Please let me know in the comments if you want to see something specific, a specific game or a specific book. I would love to hear about it. I would love to explore more, and I'll see you next Friday. Subscribe if you want to catch us there. Thank you. Bye.